You go to the newspapers, and I still haven't looked at the cup to see whether the answer is to the Vatican rag.
Vatican rag could be Great House, number 23. Vatican? No?
Yeah, well, it's a big house. To the affairs of the day. The Herald Sun and the Age, quite rightly, have the most magnificent horse race in the world on the front page of the newspapers this morning. The Australian has it on page 7.
I thought you might notice that.
But that just blows my mind.
Well,
but however, let's get back to the Herald Sun, because you know there is a thing, that a long-held, absolutely verifiable truth that no horse held by a model on the front page of the paper can possibly win any race.
There is a horse on the front page of the paper with a model.
Right. I just take you back. that rule that no horse held by a model on the front of the paper can possibly win has now been extended following the Cox Plate to no horse held by a model or Max Gawn. Because Max Gawn was holding Zaki on the front page of the Herald Sun on the Saturday, where it was scratched.
Paul Guerra's horse.
Yeah, Paul Guerra is one of the co-owners of Zaki. So it's with great interest that I pick up the Herald Sun this morning and see that someone has said, no, I'm quite happy to have my horse on the front page of the Herald Sun held by Delta Goodrum.
Is that
being held by Delta?
Yeah, it is. Is that because he believes it ain't going to win?
That is because one of the owners of that horse, Grand Promenade, is Peter Blunden, who's a friend of mine, who is the managing director of the Herald and Weekly Times.
So he said, I've got a horse, whack it on the front.
No, I reckon they've gone to everyone and said, can we please put your horse on the front page of the Herald Sun? And they've eventually, Peter said, yes.
Right.
Yes, you can use my horse.
Well, because he knows that his business requires a horse on the front of the Herald Sun.
It's a great day because we didn't have a Melbourne Cup last year. We had one, but we didn't have anyone there.
Well, I wanted to ask you, who won the Melbourne Cup last year?
Twilight Payment, which is running around again today.
Okay.
And I read with interest yesterday that the 28-year-old trainer, Joseph O'Brien, is on his way here. Presumably he's landed overnight. He's on his way here from Ireland. He is the son of Aidan O'Brien, who is also a genius trainer.
So hang on, is there an omen bet in this?
Well, there was. What year was it that Lloyd Williams actually went to the Cup? I think he went the year maybe that Al Mandan won. Mm-hmm. And Lloyd doesn't go to the Cup. Right? But he went to the Cup that year. I think because his son may have been Crook or something like that. Okay. But anyway, so he was there.
And was a shareholder in that horse.
Lloyd?
Yeah.
Well, Lloyd doesn't. He sort of gives out shareholdings. He doesn't do shareholdings.
I get it, right. Yeah, I've got one you might want to be interested in, Lloyd.
Yeah, or would you like a little... what did the bloke say in The Godfather, wet my beak? Right, he allows others to wet their beak. Right, yeah, you have a little of that. Another person who famously never had co-owners was Wolf Blass.
Okay.
He didn't do co-owners.
Just all himself?
All himself, yeah.
Speaking of Wolf Blass, I see De Bortley's had a very good financial results.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, how good. And the RBA's meeting today.
They always meet on Cup Day, the Reserve Bank, don't they?
Yeah, and it's going to get interesting because, the RBA, I think that in almost a matter of months, the RBA is going to have to start changing its tune, I think.
Well, I thought they said they weren't putting up interest rates till 2024, which is 3 years away. Let's call it, let's be generous, 2 years away.
Yeah, and when they said that, everyone said, hang on a second, you can't say that.
I got you. Peter, how does the Vatican rag represent itself in the Cup today?
Well, Ross, the segment you played us had the word genuflect in it. Another word for genuflect is kneel. So there's a jockey in the race called Jai McNeil.
Oh, okay. So this is interesting because Peter reckons it's about the jockey. I didn't even know that omen bets could include the jockey.
Oh, yeah. They can include anything.
Ah.
And I'll repeat, 133693. Is there anyone who's woken up with some sort of omen or more specifically, has actually dreamt the cup winner. There is cup winner. There is one dreamt the cup winner story that trumps all. Will never ever be beaten. Was the owner of Craig's Hotel in Ballarat, who dreamt that he owned the Melbourne Cup win, that his horse won the Melbourne Cup, but in his dream the jockey had a black armband on.
Oh, and
He did win the Melbourne Cup, but he had died in the interim. Now, and I think that's a bit hard to beat as an I dreamt the cup winner story.
jeez,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, Craig's Hotel in Ballarat, where I think they may have formed what used to be called the VATC, which is now the Melbourne Racing Club.
All right, so Peter thinks that
It was formed at the Caulfield.
you need to get on Twilight Payment, apparently.
Well, yeah, I'm happy to get on Twilight Payment, but I would have liked to have been on Twilight Payment last year.
Okay.
Right, it's a bit like sort of deciding to the barrack for the demons now.
Well, that's okay as far as the D's are concerned.
Yeah, but
they need more.
Right, but I think it'd be far more important to barrack for the demons.
Yeah,
Pride.
for your whole life.
Yeah, for your whole life. Other stories around this morning. The word of the year has been voted on by Oxford Languages, which we assume are the people associated with Oxford Dictionary.
Wasn't a very creative word of the year, was it?
No, Vax.
I mean, really?
Yeah, VAX, Vax.
Is
Maybe.
that because it has to be a new word?
Yeah, and maybe it is a new word in the UK, whereas to us it's not a new word, is
Doesn't
it?
feel like a new word.
We've always said Vax, haven't we? But
Totally.
before COVID came along, we had the word Vax.
I mean, I like the idea of Fauci ouchie.
Yeah. Yeah, Fauci out.
I hadn't heard that before.
We should open the lines on the subject of, on 6:30, yeah, on the subject of what is the word of the, because there are certain words, so maybe Vax is new in the UK, whereas I'm getting the feeling we've always said Vax.
I think so, because we shorten everything. Like, we'd never say vaccine if we could say vax.
Yeah, and because there's a word that I discovered that is only used in Australia, chook.
As in chook
chicken.
sandwiches.
Yeah, they don't say chook anywhere else in the world. Right.
As in feeding the chooks.
Well, or just, I've got a few chooks in the backyard, or I think I'll have a
Oh, what's for dinner tonight?
chook.
Do you say that, though?
Yeah.
You don't say dinner.
Damien says phrase of the year is this.
It doesn't get any better than that,
No
champion,
doubt.
I'll tell you what.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I
Are
haven't,
you lining it up for the end of the year? Lining that one up?
well,
I think the
was
challenge is...
I was thinking about it because I sent a photograph of a bottle of wine to Vince from De Bordeley the other day, and he responded, doesn't get much better than that,
It
champion.
doesn't get any better than that, champion, I'll tell you what.
Right, so it's gone deep.
It's gone deep. And Justin Lawrence from Henderson Ball, I said something to him the other day, and he responded,
Doesn't get better.
doesn't get any better than that, champion. And there are the sticklers.
Okay.
And there are the sticklers who say you must put on the end. I'll tell you what. Right. We got lots to discuss this morning on this glorious Cup Day, where it's going to be
Yes.
30 at 6:15.